Hi everybody, this is Diane. We're just going to have a little chat today as I prep to get started on some domestic arts journals. First of all, I'm going to show you the covers that I'm going to use. I was going to make just two, but as you'll see from what I'm going to show you here on this table, I'm in my office actually, not in my craft room. I have so much stuff and I have to clear things off and be able to set everything out so I can access all of my different supplies for domestic arts journals. So I figured while I have it all out, I might as well make an additional two. So I'm going to use this Complete Guide to Needle Workbook by Reader's Digest and American Country Scrap Quilts, Machine Stitchery, and Patchwork and Quilting. And we'll look at those a little bit more in a bit. Just get them out of the way. What I wanted to do, why I'm in the office, is I have my table set up in here that I use for packing orders. I packed up any outstanding orders that I had, except one just came in, but I don't need to pack that today. So that I could have everything put away and have this table cleared off. And I pulled out, I have in my closet that's right behind me, I have all this domestic art stuff stored, along with other stuff, but there's a lot here. So I thought you would like to see what I have here. So way back here in this box, which I didn't even really look at to see exactly what's in it, but there is seam or bias tape in various colors in here. There's some yarns, little bits of needlework type of fabric. Like this has a project, some of these have projects started on them. So I like to use those in domestic arts journals. Look at this piece with a great big button on it. I've got to use that one. This is how I got it. I don't know what it was cut off from, but I have got to use that in one of these journals. There's a pot holder that someone started embroidering. It's not finished. So just things like that in here. There's a zipper that got cut off of something. Look at these little crocheted gloves. What else? There's some patchwork pieces. Maybe I'll use some, quilted pieces. There's some little doll clothes pinned, the patterns pinned. Oh, this is where they are. I wondered where these guys were. Oh goody, I can use some of these. These are doll clothes that were printed onto fabric. So I like to cut them out and use them in journals. So yay, I'm glad I dug down in there and saw them. So that's what this box is. A lot of fun stuff in there. Then I have this box that is embroidery transfers. I have a lot of them. So I'll use some of those. Then back in this little box, it's a little cigar box. I'm going to sit down here. I'm not sure about the light. I brought my lamp in here. Anyway, this has some measuring tapes, some linen calendar pieces, so just some miscellaneous fun stuff. The little pot holders that you made from kits, hook and eye, button, snaps, cards, vintage ones, needle books, things like that. So basically lots of sewing notions and other things. I have a few sewing patterns here. I have a bunch of sewing patterns in the closet behind me, but these are some doll clothes patterns. Apron, I thought this would be really good for a domestic arts journal. Doll clothes. This is for pin cushions. So this will be good for domestic arts also. This is pattern that somebody drew onto interfacing. So I got those out, but I do have all the sewing patterns in the closet behind me if I want them. Let's put these things back in the box. Okay, then we have this little box of cards. These are the cards that came in this box, if I can get to them. These are, oh, I forgot what it was called. Here's the lid, and it doesn't have a name. So they're household hints anyway, bright ideas. And there's categories, housekeeping, and it just has different tips. Housekeeping, garden, kitchen. So I like to use these in domestic arts journals. I also have, oh, these are the divider cards for those. I have this flash card with a ball of yarn. It's chewed up in the corner, but these are from probably an old pattern file cabinet in a fabric store. Somebody sent those to me a long time ago. And these were sent to me by someone I can't remember. I can't remember if it's Perio, but they're in German. They're little craft cards. Aren't they cute? And then these little current cards with domestic duties being performed. Hanging out laundry, cooking, and getting groceries. So I have those cards. And then I have this little old maid card, and I stuck her with my domestic art stuff because she's cooking. And these are little labels from Current that have their food labels, canning labels, so I can use those. I also have these decals that I had stuck in here, so I'm going to see if maybe I can use them. This is definitely domestic, and we have a rooster and a chicken and some Dutch kids, so I don't know, but maybe I'll at least use some of these. Then I have my books that are crochet and knitting and embroidery books, the vintage ones. Got a whole pile of those. I have a little bit of packaging. I bought these packages with the elastic waistband on them, but I didn't keep the elastic waistband. I paid a lot of money for these just because I like the cards, so I better use them. This is just some packaging from Iron on Tape, a snag fixer, and applique package. I like to use packaging from stuff. I've got some more buttons there. These are really fun books. House Cleaning Handbook. This is Cornell Extension Bulletin. And then Mrs. Wilbert's 50 Household Hints. Let me see if this has a year. Don't see a year, but it is sponsored by Wilbert's No Rub Floor Wax. This is Mrs. Wilbert's. All right, and then this is an old book, Your Household Guide, a Lloyd Rockwell Bible class. It's sponsored by Monroeton, Pennsylvania. So it has baking. Oh, it has presidents and state capitals too. So it's not just housekeeping, but just any guide to keep in your home for reference. Time savers, health and accident. So I thought they would be fun. Darn it, my battery's flashing. Well, I can't be a long video anyway because I have some brownies in the oven. It's a brownie mix I just whipped up and put in the oven because I just felt like I wanted brownies. There's some yarn pieces that probably came out of that box. This little pile here are pieces that I cut out of my vintage magazines that I can make ephemera out of. I probably cut them out when I was doing previous domestic arts books, and you are not seeing what I'm doing. That goes in there. And then there are some that are actually made. So these two are glued to cardstock, so they're all set to be used. I have some divider cards that I sewed some things to, so these are pieces that are all done. And basically, you know, They're very simple. Just sew something onto them. This is a guest check sewn to a plant card. I made a little booklet with pages out of a sewing catalog, the pattern catalog, or some kind of a craft book maybe. This is from a children's book, Little Children Helping Their Mom. It was all about doing household chores. Index cards with little fabric tabs. So these things are all ready to go, and then I've got more that are just cut out from magazines. So we'll be working on those. Also have this really long one that I already did. I have these. I think I have a bunch more of these somewhere, but I can just put them in as a page. Then I have my coupon shopping list, which is an envelope. So these will be great. And then these little, the shopping list and the telephone and the memo. I have these 3 big wallpaper envelopes that Cindy sent to me in a Happy Mail a long time ago. So since these journals are big, I can use these in the journals. And then I have these fun things that I got in a box full of stuff, and it's iron-on pockets made out of canvas. So I thought these are going to be really fun. I did put some of these in a bundle that I sold, but I kept some because I want to play with them. Look at that pocket. I don't know what I'll do with them, but we'll figure something out. And this pile is just stitchery stuff. So there's little packs of Aida cloth in different colors. There's yarns, the sample cards of yarns. This does not belong there. And there's a vegetable slicer box. Somebody sent that to me in a Happy Mail. And a little, I guess that doesn't go in there, but looks like it was part of the same thing. So anyway, got this little old vintage pleated piece. I think this was part of a sewing class kit that I found. So that's what I have. Now, I'm going to do a little bit before my battery runs out. I wanted to also, whoops, just dropped my books. I also wanted to mention I started one for myself several years ago. And it's done with this complete guide to needlework book. So I thought, while I have all this stuff out, maybe on weekends, I will, because I don't know how long this is going to take me, I can work on my own. Mine is going to take longer because I'm decorating the pages as I go. So like I'm not going to be doing full page decorating like this in the books that I'm making to sell. Look at that. I love that. So I keep putting off working on it because I know it's going to be very time consuming. But I'm thinking I want to work on this while I'm working on the others. There's a pocket here. So this is really fun. I will show you more about this when I have it done. So I had picked out some things that I wanted to put in my book, and they've been in this case since the last time I worked on it, which was a long time ago. But while I was looking for this, so I could show it to you guys and work on it, I found this box. I got more. There's more. There's more of the yarn cards, which I didn't know I had more of. What else is in here? Books. Oh, look at that pattern. I didn't know I had so many yarn sample cards. Wow. Cool. Really old embroidery kits, these are. Oh, these are cool. Somebody sent these to me. It's a little book, sewing book. They look like they're from the 70s. Look at that. So all this stuff I'm showing you is in addition to all the recipe stuff and cookbook stuff that I have and my sewing stuff. Some of this is sewing stuff, but I have separate stuff for sewing journals. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here too. I'm going to have so much fun making these. I could make these journals for the rest of the year. I'd probably have to buy some more book covers, books to use for covers, but I have enough supplies. So, while we're on video, I just thought I would show you a little bit of what I might do with book pages as far as making ephemera. Just gotta make a little room and then I'll put everything back. I'm gonna adjust my camera here so you can see me better. Okay. I hope I didn't make you dizzy. I have my basket of fabric strips because I have accumulated a lot of fabric strips from flea markets and from Happy Mails. Plus I made some fabric strips with my own fabrics. So I have these that I will be using just to grab pieces and sew onto cards and things as ephemera cards. And as far as these books go, take this one for example, my patchwork and quilting book. So I took the covers off. So the covers are ready for me to put a new spine on them. And it's a nice bright book, you can see. I took out some pages that I thought would make good pages in the book if I fold them and just include them in the book. So that's what those are. And I also took out some pages that I thought I could make fun ephemera with. So there's this tablecloth, patchwork tablecloth, placemats, a curtain for the laundry room, closing off the washer and dryer. I had other things that I wanted to cut. So something like this I could cut out and make a piece of ephemera with it somehow. So I could adhere it to tags, make it into a journaling card, make a booklet out of it, make it into a tuck spot or a pocket. So I like the color pictures of the projects that are shown in these books, and also the directions, the pictures that show as they go along, the work in progress, I guess. But I also like the black and white pattern type of things to make ephemera out of. I want to get to the Reader's Digest one because that had a lot of really cool stuff. It had so many things in it that I thought I don't want to pull pages out because I want to pull them all out to make ephemera with them. So there's that. And here's the book block. So these are the pages I thought, some of these pages I will use as pages in the journal. But some, look at, there's all these little samples of stitches, close-up stitches in embroidery and also in knitting. And because this is the complete book of needlework, so it has all the different needle arts. So look at all these. These will be great journaling ephemera pieces. And this could be a good page. Can you see that okay? And I love this. I think I'm going to cut this out with the magnifying glass and put it on cardstock and put it on as a pocket. But I need to strengthen that on cardstock. Well, I would anyway. I love this piece with the embroidery, but I love this page too. So I think I might just put this in as a page so we can have this, and then maybe I could put something there for journaling on. Even the supply pages are cool in these books. And there's a lot more in here. So when I make ephemera from this, it doesn't have to just go in this book. I can use ephemera pieces from any of the books to go in any of the books, and probably have some for the next time I make domestic arts journals. There's some crochet stitches. So this is a really cool book. If you like this unique layout, having it be a landscape format, this is a really great book to pick up if you find it. I find these books all the time. Many different ones of the Reader's Digest that have this shape, and I have found this particular one several times. I've sold some of them. And I have a sewing version. Let me show you. I've got them right here on the little bookshelf next to me. I've got the Complete Guide to Sewing, Crafts and Hobbies. This is another sewing one. So, and there are others. In this book, this is machines, no, this is the one I want to talk about, Scrap Quilts. This one has a unique thing I can use for fussy cutting, and that is, and for embellishments. Each section has one of those circles. So I thought that would be fun. I brought my 2.5-inch punch in. I wanted to try that out and see if it works on these. It's a little bit big, but I think that works. And then I can punch out, well, I would just glue this on to a page. So I was thinking I would punch out some cardstock to back it with, but I'll probably just use it as an embellishment or a cluster or something. This one might have some words attached to it. Let's see. I didn't want to punch. So there's more of them in the book that I'll use. There's lots of quilt pattern pieces, quilt piece patterns I can cut out and use. Of course, the quilt images, lots of fun things in all of these books. One thing I wanted to do with the Reader's Digest thing that I forgot about, these different stitch diagrams. I brought in some other punches that I thought I would try just for fun. Oh yes, that fits on there nicely. So I could have some stitch pattern flowers. What fun. This one might be too big for these. This is pretty big. So it does have a little bit of white border around it, but I could find some other pictures in these books to use this with, I'm sure. So I hope I'm giving you some ideas of things to look for as you go through books that you're going to turn into a journal, and you can make ephemera from those books. And we have the machine stitchery one. It didn't have quite as many things in it that I wanted to use for ephemera, and I think partly because the images seemed more modern than I wanted. This book is from 1985, so I mean it's not modern. She's not modern, but it's not as modern. I mean, it's not as vintage as some of the others. I did find this, which I thought was cool, It shows examples of line drawing with your sewing machine, open work, and puffing. So I thought this would make a fun pocket in this book. I'm going to use this as a page, I think. And I'll cut this out and maybe that to make ephemera. This is really pretty. So I'm going to use this as a page. And I think I'll make a journal card out of this. This is the little diagram that goes with this applique piece. So I think I can cut this one out and this one. So while I'm here, why not? Because I think that's all I have to talk to you about right now. And I am going to, I don't know if I have any more time today to work on these journals, maybe a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to have to make my pages big enough. I'm going to have to find big pages and create pages by patching some together. But that's fun because I can patch them in such a way that I end up with pockets here and there and everywhere. So that's really fun to do. So I do have to create pages that will fit, because the Reader's Digest one is obviously really wide, but these are all wider than a 12 by 12 would fit. You know, it's wider than 6 inches, so I'm going to have to make pages. And I'm going to have to make ephemera. And sometimes I feel overwhelmed because there's just so much stuff here that I want to make ephemera with. So I get it all out, and then I can pull it out and try to think, what can I do with this, and try to do something creative. So I hope that this was informative for you, and I hope that it whets your appetite and makes you look forward to seeing what I'm going to do with these journals. As far as reserving any of them, I will reserve 2, and I will put 2 in the shop. So the first 2 people who message me at my Etsy shop, not here in the comments on YouTube, in my Etsy shop, I will leave the link to my shop below this video, and the first 2 people that message me with asking for 2 different journals, obviously if 2 people ask for the same one, I can't give them both the same journal. So anyway, you get the idea. 2 people, and then after that, the other 2 journals will just go in my shop when they're done. So I'm looking forward to getting going on these things, and I will see you again soon in the next video. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.